Hey, what's up? It's Rashad. This morning, what if episode number 6? What if Killmonger saved Tony Stark? Of course, like, share, subscribe. Really interesting episode. It kind of gets you through a couple of events. Of course, the first couple of Iron Man movies, and essentially a reworking of Black Panther during like the Civil War time. And it's really interesting because, of course, spoilers. Killmonger is basically a much smarter version of himself. He's not as openly vengeful. He's just being smarter about how he goes about what he wants. And of course, he wants to be Black Panther and eventually King of Wakanda. So we see him very systematically picking people off. First, he picks off Tony, you know what I'm saying, and then he ends up killing Claw. So then kills Black Panther himself, kills T'Challa. So he's just being a lot smarter about how he goes about his business and really engenders the good faith of the Wakandans, except for, I see as at the end, Shuri. Good episode. The only thing I didn't like about it was this is a two-parter. This is the most obvious two-part episode. Last episode, people saying like, yo, like there has to be a part 2 to this. But this one is definitively a part 2 because it ends on a cliffhanger. We see Shuri and Pepper talking at their at Pepper's office after, of course, General Ross is about to unleash fire on Wakanda. So now we have essentially the same plot line for Killmonger, but he's trying to still have this black liberation in this very, criminalistic way. So we see him at the beginning saving Tony. He infiltrates Tony. He introduces him to vibranium. Not introduces him, but tells him about vibranium, how vibranium can be used to create a weapon. They make this drone, which is very much still what Tony did in Civil War. And we see how Tony is still the arrogant prick that he's been because he didn't have his cave experience in Afghanistan. So he survives. Obadiah Stane doesn't die. He ends up just being outed by who? Killmonger. So Killmonger definitely recognizes that. Killmonger just stepping through the ranks like really, really fast. Becomes Tony's COO. And he's just really smart about it. The cool thing too, kind of just skipping about, is watching how Eric really portrayed himself as the hero the whole time, like and how he's always was just a step ahead. Only time he was really behind was when Jarvis, the AI, of course, showed that he killed. Oh yeah, also killed Rhodes too. So there was a vibranium deal with Claw, and Claw comes through and they're talking. Of course, Claw is doing his Claw thing. Oh yeah, Andy Serkis came back and did the voice. That was cool. So he Claw's doing his Claw thing, and Rose is there trying to broker a deal via black market, vibranium, and Black Panther comes, says, "Hey, we don't have any quarrel with you, Colonel," and Eric just wrecked shop. And yeah, it's really crazy, man. Like how they really did a decent job of interplaying this storyline in this in this universe. I really appreciate it. Michael B. Jordan comes back to reprise his role, and he does a really good job voice acting. I don't think he's like a normal voice actor, but he did a pretty decent job. Kind of invoke the same feelings that they have from the from the Black Panther movie. It was good to see his character not being such a twirly mustache villain and being a little more nuanced with what he was doing. So yeah, overall for me, Really good episode. It's just, this has to be a two-parter. Really good episode. Also, he becomes Black Panther legitimately, and there's a real heartwarming scene with him and T'Challa. T'Challa just talks about, hey, the way you're doing this is really going to come back to you. You can't get power via violence. And I think that's just it's a good message in general, because that's kind of how we view that in real life. But yeah, overall, awesome episode. Really got the look and feel of Killmonger, especially with the character model that they use, and yeah, can't wait to hopefully next week to wrap this up, or maybe they'll just do another timeline. I don't know, man. Like, I do want to see this though. All right, but I'm done. Till next time.